Myself Sakshi and my teammate Sana with the students of Dhananand Sagar Academy of Technology and Management. Today we are going to explain about recursion using C. Firstly, recursion is a function. So let us know what is function first. A function is a block of code which runs only when it is called. Data can be passed using parameters into a function. Functions are used to perform certain actions and they are important for using code. We can define the code and we can use it a number of times. Next, now we will see about recursion. When a called function in turn calls the other function, a process of chaining occurs and this technique is known as recursion until some specified condition has been satisfied. Recursion is a special case of this process where a function calls itself. In the programming languages, when the program allows the user to call any function, it is referred to as a recursive call in that function. Next, let us see why recursion is used in C. In C. Recursion is frequently used for operations like factorial calculations, list sorting, tree searching, Fibonacci series, and all. Properties of C recursion. User can execute the same process with different inputs. The code can be executed numerous times with different inputs given by the users. Users can attempt smaller inputs at each step to reduce the problem. A base condition must terminate the C recursion, otherwise it will continue indefinitely. In direct recursion, it is the most common form of recursion where a function invokes itself during its execution. In direct recursion, it is in the form of circular manner and creating a chain of recursive calls.
Let us take factorial of number as an example to understand the concept of recursion. Now coming to the code. Hashtag include stdio is the main library in which int I and number are declared, whereas fact is equals to 1 is initialized. Here printf statement helps us to take the input, whereas scanf helps us to scan the each input. Here, for loop is used to increment values from 1 to n. If I is greater than the given number, then the condition fails. If the condition is true, then the code gets executed. Later, the value of I gets incremented. Whereas fact is equals to fact star I is the formula to find the factorial. If we take 6 as an input, fact of 6 calls the fact of 5, which again calls fact of 4. This repeats until we reach fact of 1. Then fact of 1 returns its value to fact of 2. Fact of 2 returns its value to fact of 3. This repeats until it reaches fact of 6. Later, fact of 6 can be calculated using these values. Here is the code which we have compiled from online platform GDP compiler. This is the program for factorial of a number where 6 is taken as an input from the user. After the execution of the code, we have got the output as 720 as you can see it. If we multiply 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, we get output as 720, where 1 factorial is always 1. Now let us know the advantages of recursive function. Firstly, recursive functions can simplify the complex problems by breaking them into smaller pieces or more manageable chunks. Recursive solutions can sometimes lead to shorter or more concise code compared to iterative approaches like for loop, while loop, etc. Recursive solutions often mirror the mathematical definition of a problem, making the code easier to understand and maintain them. Recursion adds clarity and sometimes reduces the time needed to write and debug code, but doesn't necessarily reduce space requirements or speed of execution. Performs better in solving problems based on tree structures. For example, the Tower of Hanoi problem is more easily solved using recursion as opposed to iterative approaches. Now here we have disadvantages of recursive function. Debugging recursive functions can be more challenging compared to iterative solution. Recursive function may require more memory compared to iterative solutions as each function call adds overhead to the call stack. This completes the concept of recursion. Thank you.